You can murder a liberator, but you can't murder liberation. You can murder a revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution. And you can murder a freedom fighter, but you can't murder freedom.
You're tapped in, so let's get right to it. So, again, here we have this play of words, not a war of words, from the Trump administration. Trump is again claiming that there is a deal close. The deal is close. All right? Iran is saying, what are you talking about? There's no deal. So this deals with the inside, the straight double speak. We have Trump on one hand, all right? And this is regarding the story. Trump on one hand, he tells Fox News, very good discussions, alluding to or saying that they've been in talks with Iran about the Strait controversy or issue, all right? Trump says very good discussions were underway with Tehran and that HORMUZ would reopen soon. Soon, that's quote. Soon, unquote. All right? But Iran's own deputy foreign minister denied Iran is currently negotiating with the U.S. over the waterway, while confirming Iran and Oman are close to a framework on shipping routes. After 3+ weeks of talks, though, all right, 3 weeks. 3 weeks of talks, supposedly with Trump and Iran and Trump. 3 weeks, supposedly. But for sure, there are talks with Iran and Oman. That's a fact. All right? Now, though that still wouldn't fully reopen the Strait, those talks. Let's say the talks actually happening and Iran is lying and Trump is telling the truth. But because Iran says, the administration or the regime says, okay, yeah, let's make a deal, that doesn't make it so. I was saying this to you guys the other day. Iran, the administration, the regime does not call the shots until and unless the IRGC jumps on board, okays any talks, any discussions. None of that is etched in stone. Not one bit of it. And like I was saying the other day, until Trump say, yeah, we've confirmed with the RGC, we've been talking with the IRGC, that this thing is going to work. There are no talks. There's nothing in stone. The IRGC has the last word in this whole episode. Trust me. Trust me, they do. Okay, but anyway, meanwhile, Trump is publicly denying reports also of a U.S. munitions shortage. Hey, that makes sense. I was saying a couple of months back when this thing first started, the United States was sending Tomahawk missiles and every missile they had at targets that weren't really targets. Iran had played them, set a lot of planes out and missile launchers, mobile missile launchers out. They were cardboard. They were wooden structures and cardboard. They were like balloons. And the U.S. was just firing on them. And they said, yeah, we got them. We're blowing up there. Maybe a week or two into it, I think the U.S. understood that, we've been played. We've been spending missiles for nothing. And yet they kept firing at these decoys. That's what we're going to call them, because that's what they were. Iran had been playing the U.S. the whole time, having them expend missiles, understanding that each one of those munitions, those missiles being fired, cost millions of dollars and aren't easily replaced. Iran been playing this game. They're playing chess. United States, Donald Trump and his administration, they're playing checkers. They're playing checkers. All right, so there's that conversation. Well, you're saying the Strait is open, and Iran's saying, we don't even know what this guy is talking about. We understand why Trump is saying that. Trump is saying that to keep the market steady and stable. That's his concern. That's his concern. He's saying that for that purpose and that purpose only, okay? And again, you have to take into consideration that he has to say that also probably because they are experiencing a shortage of munitions. They've been firing just nilly-willy. Anything that moves or resembles some type of Iranian weapon, they've been firing. They've just been shooting it. And in fact, they start shooting missiles at everything, infrastructure, bridges, whatever. They've been wasting munitions. Iran is sitting back laughing like, okay, keep it up, So now the report is there is a U.S. munitions shortage, all right? Now, who's lying to who? Who's lying to who? All right? And I say that because Trump keeps saying deal, 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 deal. And Iran is like, what the hell are you talking about? Iran keeps saying no deal with the U.S. What are you talking about? The only people we are talking to is Oman. And that conversation, those meetings, those talks concern the Strait of HORMUZ between Iran and Oman. And that conversation is built around the routes, north and south, in and or out of the Strait of HORMUZ. Iran is saying, what deal is Trump talking about? Who's lying to who? Think about it. The gap is that you got to look at it like this. That's the whole conversation. This gap, this thing where nothing is connecting. There's all this space in between what Trump is saying and what Iran is saying. There's nothing connecting what either. Who's lying to who? We have to ask ourselves this. I'm asking you, the audience, is Trump manufacturing a win rather than actually executing one? That's the question. Or is Iran refusing to give him one? Whether he's actually putting it in or talking about it. It doesn't seem as though Iran is even participating in any of this BS Donald Trump is talking about. Come on, you guys. Is Trump manufacturing a win? Simple question. One you might want to ask yourself, just based on everything we've heard come out of Trump's mouth. Is he trying to convince us that a win exists that isn't even there? All right? Or is Iran refusing just to give him one? Either if it's through just what he's talking, the nonsense, the propaganda, or actually, literally, a win based upon what the U.S. is saying they're doing and accomplishing, the meetings or whatever. It's one or the other. Who's lying to who in this instance? This is what we have to get to the bottom of, okay? Look, we keep hearing, y'all keep hearing deal out of Trump's mouth. But as Tehran, Iran, and they'll tell you straight up, ain't no deal with Washington and or Trump, Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, CENTCOM, or anybody in the United States government. That's what Iran is saying. And to boot, they're saying we're negotiating only with Oman in regards to the Strait of HORMUZ, about routes going north and south, that's entering or exiting. And I have to ask, or you should ask yourself, what seems more probable? What could be the truth? If Oman is saying, yeah, we're talking to Iran, which is what they're saying, about working out routes in and or out, and having to understand and negotiate the cut, What Oman gets and what Iran gets, that absolutely leaves out the United States and everything Donald Trump is talking about, people. What the hell is going on here? Who's lying to who? And weigh that against Donald Trump, his campaign speeches, everything he promised, as opposed to what he's been doing. Who's lying? This is not rocket science, people. This is not rocket science. That's not, what Trump is saying and what Iran and Oman are saying are not the same things. They are not the same things. Now, we could have an argument, or there could be an argument if it was just Iran saying this. Iran was just saying, we're talking to Oman, and Oman not saying anything. But Oman is saying, yeah, we're having talks with Iran about the Strait of HORMUZ. Come on, you guys. Come on. So this is not the same thing. What Trump is talking about, what Iran and Oman is talking about, they are not the same things. And that gap, that's not the same thing. Just put it like that. And that gap right there, look, that's a whole lot of space. That's a whole lot of space that Trump can't even cover. He can't even attempt to cover, to connect what he's talking about in terms of what the reality really is. All right? So that's where the truth is living, people. And what's actually happening, not in what Trump is saying. That's what the truth is. All right? Think about it. Think about it, all right? Now, I got a clip. As always, I want to drop this clip in here. Before I do, please like, share, follow, comment, and subscribe. You are tapped in. This is the art of political discourse. You guys' involvement means a great deal to us. The more the merrier. Come on in and get aboard what we're talking about. We're pointing out the facts. We're pointing out what's logical as opposed to what's BS and lies, or propaganda and false narratives. We're comparing them right here on tap. Come get it, all right? Like and share this thing. Like and share this thing. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Please do. So yeah, let's drop this clip, because there's a lot being said that Trump isn't saying, You got to think about that. All right, and this is courtesy of CBS News. I went on and tapped in with the establishment on this one. And let's see how they chop it up. Let's see if they're just like Trump. Let's see.
This morning in the Middle East, where a deal on the Strait of Hormuz appears to be edging closer. Iran's foreign ministry says it reached an agreement with Oman on a route for ships to transit through the strait. And
okay, did you guys hear that? With Oman. This is Iran saying, we've reached a deal with Oman, not we've reached a deal with Trump in the U.S. Just take that into consideration.
Final touches are being put on a deal. Now, the closure of the strait has driven up fuel prices during the war. Speaking in Las Vegas just last night, President Trump said prices are coming down, but he warned they may go back up.
How would he know? Trump doesn't have to buy gas. Trump does not pull up at a gas station, a filler station, and pumps gas. He wouldn't know the damn price of gas if he actually went to pump it. I don't think Trump is smart enough to read the gauge and see how much he's paying per gallon of gas. What the hell? Trump being saying, for months now, Trump has been saying to the American people, gas prices will go down. Have they? A lot of us are still looking at $5, $6, maybe even $7, depending on where you go, a gallon for gas. Who's lying to who?
Today it's $75 down to 75. It's dropping. And we may have to send it up again. We may have to, what happens when we send it up, but we hope we don't have to.
For more on what's happening.
Well, here's what's confusing. Why would America raise the prices on American people for gas when America has nothing? They get no fuel, no oil, no petrol from the Middle East? Is it just the way the market works? I mean, America has its own gasoline. Again, they've taken so much gasoline from Venezuela. A lot of us are wondering why our price is still high. Trump sit there in there, producing, processing that oil. Why are our prices still high? Is it the processing fees and costs? We're talking about billions of gallons of oil. But the American people are still suffering. Though we get no oil, none of our gas, oil, or liquid gas comes through the Strait of HORMUZ. Why is this affecting the American people? Who's lying to who? Legitimate question you might want to ask yourself.
We are joined now by CBS News politics reporter Catherine Watson, who is in our D.C. bureau. Good morning, Catherine. Another headline the president has addressed overnight were these reports of significant munitions shortages in the U.S. due to the war. The president responded to that. What did he have to say?
Yeah, President Trump took issue with reporting that the war with Iran is sending the U.S. into a munitions shortage. This is reporting from us and others that the U.S. has depleted nearly all of its global stockpile of long-range precision missiles, obviously really important in a war like this. Let's take a look at his Truth Social post where he insisted the U.S. has massive amounts of munitions. And not only that, Errol, but the president warned that the Trump administration will be hunting down the leakers and give long jail sentences to those people, those unnamed people who are sounding the alarm bells. Of course, there is concern here. The concern here is if long jail sentences.
So the U.S. has massive amounts of munitions, especially of certain types. Additionally, large amounts are being manufactured and shipped to the U.S. as needed. Wait a minute. Large amounts are being manufactured and shipped to the U.S.? Wait a minute. Make that make sense. So you're saying that these missiles, these munitions are not being produced in the United States, and rather than, once they're produced, you're shipping them to the U.S., why wouldn't you ship them to exactly where they're needed? Something doesn't sound right. Goes on to say defense companies are building the largest number of plants and factories in our country. Says, wait a minute. You're building plants and factories, then that means production won't be online for months. What the heck is going on here, people? Are you guys paying attention to what's really happening? The leakers of these treasonous statements are being hunted down. If this is not fascist, if this is not a dictator, if this is not a tyrant sitting in the seat of power in the United States of America, I don't know what one is. This guy is unhinged. The leakers of these treasonous statements are being hunted down. American people, you are aware. You need to be on guard. You say anything that may upset Donald Trump, he will hunt you down. Don't let it be anywhere near the truth. Your butt he will use the FBI, the CIA, Secret Service, ICE, anybody he sees fit to come and find you. Be careful. Goes on to say long-term jail sentences will be sought. Wow.
To those people, those unnamed people who are sounding the alarm bells. Of course, there is concern here.
Wait a minute, though. What is he saying? Because someone is saying the United States is running out of munitions. That's treasonous. Why would it be? Because it's the truth? I don't know. I don't get it.
The concern here is how the administration might be going about finding these people and whether they would pursue journalist records. Let's listen to former U.S. Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel on the Daily Report last night. He said the Pentagon owes it to these military families to tell them what's really going on.
This is really a flagrant violation, and it's arrogant, it's dumb, and it makes a mockery of democracy.
And today, of course, we are waiting to hear more about this deal that you mentioned, Errol, between Iran and Oman. This isn't something that the Trump administration has commented on before, and it remains to be seen whether President Trump, as he really is the final say in the U.S., whether he believes it is sufficient to have a strait that isn't technically full and open like he has promised.
Very.
Oh, wow. Hey, you guys. Now, I don't know what to tell you. If everything that he has done up to now, everything that has amounted up to his actions, his behaviors, and everything else has not, for any of you, drawn a red flag, caused you some alarm, something's wrong with you. We know something's wrong with Trump, but something more so is wrong with you. If you haven't figured out that we're in a this guy is trouble. You know, a lot of you might think, oh no, he got our back. No, he doesn't. If you're not a part of that cadre, that group, you know, if you're not willing and dealing in billions upon billions every day, you are not included. This is some really shocking information. One, the lies. We're talking to Iran about the Strait of HORMUZ. He's been telling us this for a week. Well, especially ever since he called off the last strike. Iran says, hey, we don't, and I don't understand why the American media don't hone in on this. Iran is saying, we are not talking to this guy or his people. What are you guys asking us this for? What are you talking about? And then they'll turn around and say, Iran, we're talking to Oman. We're not talking to the U.S. And there's no U.S. delegation attached to the conversation between Oman and Iran about the Strait of HORMUZ. Who's lying to who, you guys? Come on. Come on. You are the American people, right? You got to be better than this. This guy is playing us for dupes. Or you guys, you know, none of it makes sense. None of it is actually accurate. And again, transparent. What the guy just said, this is all about arrogance, ignorance, and just being plain dumb. He's talking about Trump and the Trump administration. You know, they're so far deep in this stuff. Again, there's no way they can dig themselves out of this. There's no way. When he had an off-ramp months ago, he didn't take it. Because it seems this continuance of coercion by the Israeli regime keeps him ensconced in this stuff. He cannot find his way out of this because Israel won't let him. Again, who's lying to who? You guys let me know what you think about this, okay? Let me know as to whether or not this is some serious enough stuff for the American people to come out of hiding, come out of shelter, expose themselves and say, enough's enough. What's going on? Or let us know if you're okay with everything that is happening, not just with this so-called war with Iran, but with gas prices, the state of affairs in these United States, high gas prices, high food prices, bills going up, things of that nature, tax dollars being spent on missiles, munitions, and war rather than education, homes, or dealing with the homelessness, jobs, you know, and the prosperity of the American people. Let us know what you think. Put your thoughts, drop your thoughts in the comments. This is TAP. This is the Art of Political Discourse. Thank you for your participation. Take care of yourselves and each other.
liberator, but you can't murder liberation. You can murder revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution. And you can murder a freedom fighter, but you can't murder freedom.